Hey sweet yogis, welcome. Welcome to a yoga practice to build a little courage. If you're following along in Spotify for playlists, you'll find this playlist under Yoga and a Pint, and its name is Yoga Courage 3-24-20. So if you're following along with music, you can go ahead and hit your playlist now. So this practice is all about courage. And courage isn't just about not being afraid. In fact, it is about being afraid and showing up anyway. Sometimes courage isn't there when we need it, but we can help create or encourage more courage just by the way we move and hold our bodies. Maybe you saw the TED Talk a while back where people changed their testosterone and cortisol levels just by the way they held their body in either powerful poses or powerless poses. When we're showing the world that we're feeling powerless, we're also giving ourselves that feedback. When we show the world that we're feeling powerful, we're also giving ourselves that feedback. Now is the time for courage and to feel powerful, even if we're using that power to stay indoors and to stay safe with our family. We're going to build a little power and a little courage through this practice, so I hope you'll join me. Here we go. From your nice seat, whatever is comfortable, you can cross your legs, or if that's uncomfortable, you can stick your feet straight out in front of you. But you're going to just take a nice deep full breath and a big huge exhale. We're going to start by just moving slowly in this seated position. So find again that connection to the floor. Feel that nice strong foundation below you. On your next inhale, reach your arms all the way up overhead. As you exhale, bring them out into a V shape and hold. Drop your shoulders out of your ears, engage your core, try to get your ears to plant or settle in right over your shoulders. Take another deep breath. On this next inhale, we're going to bring arms all the way up together to touch above the head. And we're going to take the right hand down. Reach the other arm up and over your ear. Keep your hip planted into the mat on that side as you stretch all the way through the fingertips, lengthening the side of your body. Continue to feel strong through the core even though you're stretching to the side. Maybe looking down at the hand to give the neck a little stretch. Maybe turning that chin up to the sky to give you, again, the back of the neck a big stretch. Inhale, bring both arms all the way up, palms to touch overhead if possible. Shoulders down out of your ears. Inhale here. Exhale, bring the other hand over to the mat. Keeping that right hip planted, stretch over your ear and hold. Again, really pressing down to the mat and lengthening through your ribcage, through your arm and shoulder, all the way to your fingertips. Maybe if it felt good on the other side, tip your chin down towards your shoulder. Maybe if it feels good, tip that chin up towards the ceiling. Again, keeping that strong stretch all the way through the fingertips. Inhale all the way up, arms to touch. On this exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, lift the heart, lift the chin, deep breath out. Do that again. Inhale, reach arms all the way up. Concentrate on the feeling of your shoulder blades sliding together. Create a little resistance. Show us your biceps. Tip your chin up. One more just like that. Inhale, reach high, stretch up to the sky. Exhale, show us your muscles. Shoulder blades slide together. Inhale all the way up. Exhale this time, bring hands behind you. Now hold the opposite forearm and stay sitting tall, just finding that little stretch in your neck as you tip your chin up. Or if you'd like a bit more of a shoulder opener, you can interlace your fingers and stretch your knuckles back behind you as you roll your shoulders open. Again, with that added option to tip the chin up and stretch the front of the neck. Take a deep breath. Release forearms or uninterlace those fingers. Bring it back to the front and roll your shoulders side to side. Inhale, reach them all the way up. This time we're going to take a little twist. So bring that left hand across to the right knee, sitting up very tall. Maybe look over the back shoulder if it feels okay in your neck. Take a deep breath. Back to center on an inhale, sweep both arms all the way up. Exhale to cross over to the other side. Plant that hand behind you, sit up tall, maybe looking over that back shoulder. Inhale, both arms all the way up. One more nice big exhale with those elbows wide. Strong, strong, strong. Inhale it back up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to move into tabletop, so find your hands and knees here. Just finding coming into that nice tabletop. Once you find hands and knees, then you're going to find a nice tabletop. So once you get here, now engage your core, lengthen the head and neck, engage and find that alignment, ear, shoulder, hips, right over the knees. Take a deep breath, arch the back and look up. Round the spine and look at your belly button. One more in each direction. Inhale and look up. Exhale to round. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, come into that first downward facing dog. Bend one knee a lot and reach the other heel back towards the mat. It's okay if they don't touch. Everybody's built differently, so if your heels never touch the mat, that's okay. It could just be the length of your hamstrings or the length of your Achilles tendons, but we're always encouraging that space in the back of the calves and the heels and the hamstrings. Inhale to look up at your hands. Exhale, step or walk up towards your hands. Find a nice loose forward fold. Feet are wide. Find that loose forward fold. Maybe cross your arms. Sway side to side. Take a halfway lift. Press into your palms, into your shins, and inhale to a halfway lift. Try to get your back nice and flat. Core strong. Inhale here. And exhale to that fold. Inhale. Roll all the way up to stand, growing tall, finding that power, connecting your feet to the mat. Inhale all the way up, ears over shoulders, reach your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bend your elbows and show us those muscles. Lift your chin, shoulder blades slide together. Inhale tall, stretch it high. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift your heart and chest. One more like that. Bring your hands to your heart. Roll your shoulders up and back. Find that connection with your core once again, finding that strong feeling and that feeling beneath your feet, planting and engaged to the floor. Now you're going to bring those hands to your hip like you're Wonder Woman or Superman. This is a superpower pose. You are feeling so strong and powerful. Your heart is lifted. You know you've got this. You're going to turn your toes out just a little bit. Start to bend those knees a little bit. Inhale here at center. Exhale, press your hand over to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, press it over. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale to center. Exhale, both hands press. Get low into this horse stance. Roll those shoulders up and back. Find that equal weight in both your feet. You're tall and throughout your entire spine. Head is lifted and ears over shoulders, finding that strong, tall posture. You're so much stronger than you think. And when we are getting ourselves into these powerful poses, what it's doing is changing our hormones. When we are in these kinds of power poses for even 2 minutes, it can higher our testosterone and lower our cortisol. And that cortisol is that stress hormone that we really want to get low. So stay here. That stress hormone we want to lower. It can be really hard on our health if that cortisol stays high. It's staying in that loop of stress, fight or flight. We want to lower that down. And one of the ways we can do that is finding these powerful, strong poses. On your next inhale, reach high, stand tall, deep breath. We're going to take this down into a forward fold. Turn your toes a bit so they are now parallel to one another. Feet are parallel to one another. Staying here in your forward fold, bringing your head down toward the mat. If you're good here, you can stay here. If you want a bit more of a hamstring stretch, you're going to walk both hands over to one foot. Big stretch on the back of this hamstring. Take a deep breath. Walk hands back through center, off to the other side. Once again, both hands can be on the outside of that leg. Deep breath. Coming back to center. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale all the way, head towards the floor. Put a little bend in the knees. Start to roll up. Pause about halfway. Stick your hips back. Roll your shoulders out of your ears. A little shoulder side to side here. Rock one into the center. And then the other. One more on each side. Gently bringing that shoulder in. Shoulder in. Back to center. Roll yourself all the way up. Make your way to the back of your mat. Hands at heart center to start. Inhale to reach high. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend your knees as much as you need to. Plant your palms. Step or walk those hands all the way out to the top of the mat. Find your high plank, dropping those hips in line with your shoulders, or drop your knees into a half plank. We're going to hold here. Feeling strong, feeling a little shaky, that's okay. Kick into that heat, kick into that core, kick into that courage. You've got this. Breathe here, 2 more deep breaths. 1 more. Relax your jaw. Drop those knees. Drop down into a chaturanga. Elbows come back towards your rib cage. Keep your chest lifted. We don't want to be looking down at our belly button. Keep your head in line with your spine. Bring it back into your down dog. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Stretching heels back. And then come back into the tabletop. Dropping down to your knees. Engage your core once again. Lengthen through the spine. Reach your right foot back. Try to keep both sides of your hips pointing straight down at the mat. Really engaging the core. Option to stay both hands on the mat, or option to extend the opposite arm. Try to make yourself as long and strong as you can. Breathe. Go ahead and bring your palm back down. Bring your knee back down. We're going to take 1 cat and cow to get that spine and hips back to neutral. So on your inhale, arch and look up. As you exhale, round. Inhale back to a long flat spine. We're going to take that over to the other side. Extend the left leg back. Extend the right arm forward. Once again, trying to be as long and strong all the way from your heel through your fingertips. Try to keep both sides of your hips aimed right at the floor. Don't forget to breathe. Bringing hand and knee back to the mat. Another cat and cow. Inhale to arch and look up. Exhale to round. Inhale back to that long flat spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Pedal it back. And then find stillness, both heels reaching back. Find this big expansion in your chest here when you're in downward facing dog, and take advantage of it by a deep breath. Big exhale. Inhale to look up at your hands. Exhale, step or hop up to the top. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. You can face that end of your mat. I'm going to turn toward you, but you're going to come up into chair. So, sitting back like you're in an imaginary chair, arms are going to reach high up overhead. If that bothers your shoulders, you can bring hands to heart instead. You're going to hold here, feeling strong, feeling powerful, feeling that engagement of the feet, strong legs, strong core, lift, sink the hips 1 more inch, arms stretch up, breathe. Stay right here, or on your next exhale, bring those arms back, press your palms up. Inhale, come through, stay in your chair, just the arms are moving. Exhale it back. 1 more, bring it all the way up. Bring it all the way back. On this last one, option to get really crazy. Come up onto your toes, so lifting the heels, get really shaky, drop 2 more inches, squeeze those legs together, get so shaky for 3, 2, 1. Drop your heels, come all the way up to stand, and exhale, dive forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, extend your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step, hop, or walk those feet back, either right into your downward facing dog, or walk into your plank, lower halfway or all the way, chaturanga. Inhale to that up dog or low cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Inhale to look up at your hands. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale to that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on back up to your chair pose. If this is bothering your knees, you could take mountain pose instead, which is a nice, strong, standing pose. If you're cool in your chair, I mean, who isn't? We all love it. Sit a little lower, sit a little deeper. Find that connection in your feet. Maybe pressing legs together makes you feel a bit more stability. We're gonna take a twist here this time. Options, no twist. Option 2, open arm twist. We're gonna start to the right. Option 3, bring your hands to your heart, and as you twist, bring the elbow across, hook it on your knees, and find that nice deeper twist, your choice. Whichever one you choose, hold for 2 more breaths. Inhale to center, come up to stand. Take a deep breath and a big exhale. Inhale there. Exhale back into your chair. Twisting to the other side, again, option no twist, hold at center. Open arm twists. Or elbow comes across, hook on the knees, sink it down, breathe. Fold right into your forward fold from there. Widen your feet about hip distance. Take a deep breath, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way. Now we took that hamstring stretch in the twist before. We're gonna do another one optional here with a little deeper twist. So earlier we walked hands over. You can do that same or take a twist. So again, in your forward fold, option to walk hands out to the outside of the right foot, or plant that right hand, straighten the right leg as you lift the left arm and bend that left knee. Woo, breathe. Come back to center. Inhale to that halfway lift and lengthen your spine. Then fold and option, walk both hands over to the left or take that twist. Left hand down, left leg straight, right arm high, right knee bent. Breathe. Back into your forward fold. You're going to turn if you followed me or stay right where you are. Walk back into that high plank. Now option to come right into your downward facing dog, or from your plank, from your knees or from your toes, lower halfway or all the way, chaturanga, and then inhale either low cobra, here's that small back bend, low cobra, or upward facing dog. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Pick up those hips, lift them high, breathe. Now from here, if you need to catch your breath, you're gonna take a child's pose. Big toes together, knees nice and wide. Reach hips back as the arms reach forward, forehead to the mat. Whew, I know I'm warm. If you need that break, take it. If you'd prefer another down dog with a hip opener, come on into that downward facing dog. Pick up one of your feet, start to bend your knee open to the side, maybe roll out your ankle, breathe. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Make sure you even it out by taking one on each side. Breathe. Coming back into your downward facing dog, have a seat down onto your knees. For hero's pose, if it's a little too tight in your quadriceps or it bothers your ankles to be sitting this way, you can either find a little something to sit on to elevate you or just take a folded leg seat instead. From here, sit up tall, palms on your legs, take a deep breath. Big exhale. working to find that feeling of ears over shoulders and shoulders over hips, which ensures that nice tall posture, and your core is going to be engaged as soon as you bring those ears over your shoulders. Take another deep breath. Big exhale. Reach your arms all the way up. And this time we're going to exhale and bring them back behind your head and interlace your fingers. Like you're at the top of the boardroom and you just made the best deal. You're at the head of the table, you just made the best decision. You're feeling very proud, you're feeling very powerful. So you're going to interlace those fingers, bring your palms behind your head. Shoulders are nice and wide. Tip back into those hands a little bit. Lift your chest. Enjoy that feeling of elation, of being powerful and courageous, of taking a deep breath. Exhale, hands to your sides. We're going to pause there, the end of part 1. If you're going to continue, you're going to roll right into the next song. If you're going to pause for a moment and come back, now's the time to do so. Hey, welcome back. If you are continuing, we're just going to keep going. If you're here for part 2 and you want the music, you're going to start at Darling Do Not Fear. This is Yoga Courage Mix, Darling Do Not Fear. Here we go. So, from our hero's pose, we're going to take that nice deep breath. Reach arms all the way up. Take one more side to side, bringing that right arm down, right hand down, left arm over your ear. Maybe looking down at the hand, maybe looking up at the sky. Inhale back to center, both arms reach high and touch. Exhale over to the other side. Left arm comes down, left hand comes down, right arm over your ear and stretch. Maybe looking up, maybe looking down. Inhale, once again, both arms come up. Exhale, bend your elbows, lift your heart. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, come into your tabletop, finding those nice hands and knees once again. Inhale here and arch. Exhale, round into your cat pose. Inhale to that long flat back. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Pedal it out a bit here. Inhale to look up at your hands. Exhale, step or hop up by your hands. Inhale to that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Nice big twist, open arms, look to one side. Arms come out parallel to the floor, maybe looking back over that back shoulder. Inhale, reach arms all the way up. Exhale, other side. Again, looking over the back arm, if that's okay, in your neck. Inhale, reach arms all the way back up. And exhale, fold. Inhale to that halfway lift. You're going to exhale, plant your palms. Either step back right into your downward facing dog or step back into your plank. From your toes or from your knees, you're going to lower chaturanga, elbows back to your rib cage. And then if you'd like, continue all the way to the floor. Press up into a low cobra or an upward facing dog. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Take a deep breath. Exhale down to your tabletop. Finding that nice hands and knees here. Engage your core, lengthen your spine. Look over to your right hand. We're going to do 3 nice big circles. Warm up the shoulders. Exhale, hand back towards your knee. Inhale, big circle all the way up and forward. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, up and forward. Exhale, down and back. This one, we're going to bring it around and plant that palm. Switch right over to the other side. Exhale it back. Inhale it up and around. On this next circle, plant that palm. Come back into your downward facing dog. Tucking your toes, lift your hips high, pedal it out. Inhale to look up at your hands. Exhale, step or hop, both feet up to the top. Inhale to that halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Step all the way to the back of your mat. So you have the entire mat in front of you. Take a deep breath, roll shoulders up and back, engage your core. We're going to step the right foot forward and find warrior one. So the right foot steps forward. Back foot is going to come down at an angle. So the toes are a bit angled off to the side. Put your hands on your hips for a moment. Turn your hips right toward the front of your mat. So your hips and shoulders are parallel to the top of your mat. Roll your shoulders up to your ears. Roll them down and back, and then engage your ribs. So you're pulling those muscles around your ribs together. So you're standing really straight up from the hips, shoulders, ears. Then for warrior one, we're going to reach those arms up over our head. Now, this sequence is all about courage and feeling powerful. Our warrior poses are extremely powerful. So here we are in warrior one. We're strong, we're tall, we've got our feet planted, we've got our hips and shoulders forward. It's like we're saying we're not afraid. We are vulnerable and strong. So reach those arms high, plug in those ribs, roll your shoulders up, and then drop them down so you're feeling very tall and long in your neck. Take another deep breath here. Now we're going to move the arms a little bit. On your next inhale, reach high. As you exhale, bend the elbows, lift your heart, and slide your shoulder blades together. 2 more just like that. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, strong, elbows wide. 1 more like that. Inhale, reach it high. Exhale, slide them down. Yes. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, we're going to bring those hands all the way down to the mat, and we're going to frame the front foot. Now we're going to straighten and bend that front leg as much as it's comfortable. If that's too much, you're going to drop the back knee and work here. If you're okay for another moment, we're going to straighten and bend from this standing position. Giving that hamstring a little extra love. Then we're going to plant those palms, step back into our downward facing dog. Step all the way back, find that down dog. Maybe that right side feels a little stronger or a little stretchier than the other side. We're going to inhale to look up at the hands. Exhale, step or hop to the top. Inhale to that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Step back to the back of your mat once again. Find that whole runway in front of you. Engage your core. This time, step the left foot forward. Once again, we're standing up for that warrior one. So we want the back foot to come down. It's at that angle. Hands to your hips for a moment. Inhale to straighten your leg. Now with a lot of attention, exhale, park the knee right over your ankle. So you're feeling really strong in that 90-degree angle. Hands to your hips still. Start to plug in your ribs. So as you do, you're pulling those ribs in with this strong engagement and getting even taller in your torso. Now, when you're feeling really powerful and strong grounded here, you're going to inhale, reach those arms high. Big exhale, drop your shoulders out of your ears. Keeping that strong engagement, equal weight in both feet. Do 1 more straighten and bend here. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bring it forward, park it right over the ankle. Take another deep breath. We're going to do 3 of those arms. Exhale, elbows wide. Shoulder blades together. Inhale it tall. Exhale it nice and wide. 1 more. Beautiful. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, bring those hands to the mat, framing that front foot. Inhale to straighten. And exhale, bend. Now, if that's too much, again, you're going to drop that back knee and move from here. If you're okay with the back foot down and back knee up, you're going to stay here for 2 more. And then we're going to make our way back into that tabletop. So drop your knee, bring it on back into your tabletop. Take a little cat and cow. We're going to take some hip circles in each direction. So knees nice and wide. Bring your hips back and around towards your heel and up in the other direction. 3 in this direction. And then reverse, other side. Back to your downward facing dog. Tuck those toes, lift your hips, down dog. We're gonna move into warrior two this time. So inhale to pick up your right foot. Exhale, step it up. It only makes it halfway. Grab it and help it. Bring it up by the hands. This time that back foot's gonna turn to be parallel to the back of the mat. If you need the front knee to help, come on up. Use that knee and circle arms open. I'm gonna change direction just so I'm facing you. You're gonna keep that right foot forward. Find your warrior two. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. Front toes pointing straight ahead. Take your hands to your hips again and make sure that they're parallel to the floor. Keep the front knee bent, back foot parallel to the back, straight back leg. Inhale and reach your arms out to a T. Again, warriors are such powerful poses. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, roll them down and back, finding that strong, tall engagement all the way from your hips, through your ribs, through your chest, chin, top of the head. Beautiful. We're going to move this warrior 3 times. Inhale, straighten the front leg, bring your arms up, palms touch. Exhale, press it down. 2 more times, like you're in water. Move nice and slow, like you creating that own resistance, getting stronger even in these power poses, finding more courage, finding more power. After this one, we're gonna hold. So bring those hands down once again. This time, turn and look over that front middle finger. Standing tall in your torso. You are so powerful and strong in this warrior pose. Take a deep breath. You're gonna exhale, drop that front elbow, reach up, maybe straight up out of your armpit or maybe over your ear for extended side angle. Take a deep breath. Make sure there's power and intention all the way through your fingertips, finding that strong, strong, strong engagement in the back foot. Breathe. Inhale, come on back up. Keep the front knee bent. Reverse your warrior. Stretch the front of your body. Nice deep breath. Back to your warrior two. You're going to circle your hands around, plant them on the mat, step back right into your downward facing dog, or step into your plank, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop to your knees. Take another cat and cow. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. Just 1 hip circle in each direction. Knees nice and wide. Bring hips down and around. Reverse that direction. 1 more cat and cow. All right, back into our downward facing dog. I'm going to change directions again. So this time I'll be facing you. You're going to come into your downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips into your down dog. Pedal it out for a moment. Shake your head yes and no. We're going to start to move once again, finding that warrior two on the other side. Inhale, pick up your left foot. Bring it all the way up by your hands. Bring that back heel down so the back foot's parallel to the mat. Once again, if you need to, use that front knee. Circle all the way open. Find your warrior two on this side. Roll your shoulders up, down and back. Bring your hands to your hips. Once again, make sure that your hips are parallel to the floor. So you're finding that strong center spot between the feet, equal weight in both feet, back foot parallel to the back of the mat, front toes pointing straight ahead. Small adjustment here, I'm gonna see my knees right over that ankle. And when I peek down, I see the big toe on the inside of the knee. Now we're gonna reach arms high. Exhale, bring them down, parallel to the floor. Pause there. Arms are parallel to the floor. Roll shoulders up, roll them down and back. Lengthen through the spine, finding that strong core. Chest, ribs, are engaged. Chest is lifted, chin lifted, ears over shoulders. Someone's pulling a gentle string from the crown of your head. Look over that front middle finger. Try to keep the equal weight in your feet as we move 3 times. Inhale, reach high, straighten the front leg, touch your palms up overhead. Exhale, press them down. 2 more. Last one. Come on down and hold. Keep everything in your legs and feet and torso exactly the same, but on your next inhale, get even taller, and then exhale, drop that front elbow, reach the back arm either up straight out of the armpit or over your ear. Keep equal weight in feet still, pressing in the back edge of that back foot. Hold here. We're going to inhale to come back up to our warrior two. Keep the equal weight in the feet. Reverse your warrior. Keep the front knee bent. Inhale back up, straighten the front leg this time. Turn your front toes. Feet are nice and wide. Hands to your hips for a moment. Keep the equal weight there in each foot. Standing tall from the center of your mat, reaching the crown of your head up, up, up. Bring your heels in and toes out quite a bit. Bend those knees into that horse stance, extra wide this time. Take a deep breath. Exhale, press one hand over. Inhale to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale to center. Exhale, press. Inhale, center. Exhale, press. Inhale, center. Straighten your legs. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, shake them all out. That's it for part two. If you're going to roll on, keep rolling. If you want to pause here, that's the end of part two, and we'll pick up part three in just a moment. Welcome to part three. If you're still rolling, we are in this nice wide-legged stance. If you're just joining us, if you're in yoga, courage, we are on song Walk On. Hit play. Here we go. Nice wide feet. We're going to inhale, reach arms all the way up. Bring hands just to heart. Exhale. Two more just like that. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, bring it to heart. One more, reach high. Exhale, bring it in. Bring hands down to hips. Standing up tall, you're going to step your feet a bit closer. Find that superpower stance again, Wonder Woman or Superman. Again, coming into these courageous power poses, it changes the level of our hormones up, takes our cortisol down. We want to lower that stress hormone, and we do this by standing in these power poses just to change the way our body is giving itself feedback. When we're feeling really collapsed, when we're feeling really powerless, our hormones and our mood reflect that. When we're feeling really powerful, same thing. So we want to give ourselves some of that own biofeedback that we're powerful and feeling strong, even if that power is being enclosed in our own homes right now. Take a deep breath, open your mouth, and a big, wide exhale. Inhale, reach arms high. Exhale your hands to your heart as you step all the way to the back of your mat. From here, take a deep breath. On your exhale, fold all the way down into that forward fold. Reaching your head down toward the earth, bringing any of that busy energy down toward the ground. Inhale to a halfway lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, walk out into that tabletop. Inhale to a cow pose, arch. Exhale, round into your cat pose. Inhale back to your long, flat back. We're going to take a nice side stretch here. It's a bit of a side plank, but it's a big stretch, and then we'll move into a full side plank. So we're going to start with the left foot turning out a bit like a kickstand. Right foot goes straight back. Right arm comes up. Now, press into that back foot and turn your palm to the front of your mat. Reach up and over your ear, pressing from that back edge of the back foot all the way through your fingertips. Feel that big stretch all the way on the side of your body. Hold for another breath here. Inhale that arm back up. Exhale back to your tabletop. And before you move on to the other side, just close your eyes for a moment and tune into both sides of your body and see if you feel any taller on that right side. We're going to move on to the other side. I'm going to turn around so I'm still facing you. You're going to take the right foot, kick it out like a kickstand. Left foot comes straight back. Reach that left arm high, straight up out of the armpit to start. Press into that back foot. Now turn your palm, reach up and over your ear. So good. You can look down at your palm or up at your arm or keep head neutral, whichever feels best for your neck, but really press and lengthen. See if you can get taller and taller. Sigh or breathe or lion breath, whatever you need to do. Inhale to reach that arm back up. Exhale back to your tabletop. Check in once again, noting either side of your body is feeling good, feeling level, feeling equal. Take a deep breath. We're going to exhale back into child's pose. So big toes together, knees nice and wide. Press your hips back towards your heels. Arms are going to reach out in front of you. Bring your forehead to the mat. From here, I'm going to offer another stretch. So you're going to bring your palms together onto the back of your head, like you're making a shark fin on the very back of your head. And your forehead is going to press and your palms together on the back of your head. You can walk your elbows forward and stretch the back of your arms and shoulders. So it looks like this. Head down, palms together, walk, elbows forward, stretch back. Ooh, breathe. Come on out of that, bringing palms back to the mat in front of you, and then come on up to your tabletop. A little cat and cow, so an inhale to arch, exhale to round. Bring your shins back to parallel with one another, and find that strong back. We're just gonna give one big arm circle on each side. So on side one, exhale the arm back towards or hand back to your knee, and then inhale it up and around, and then switch. Exhale back towards your knee. Inhale it around. Bring it on down. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. Find that downward facing dog. Pedaling feet back, one and then the other. Inhale to look up at your hands. Exhale, slowly walk hands towards your wrists. Roll your way up to stand. Taking your time, stacking each vertebrae, one on top of the other until you get to the top. Make sure you're not lightheaded. I'm going to turn toward you, but you can stay facing the long side of your mat. Bring hands to your hips once again. Feet are parallel. Come back into that nice, strong feeling. Chest lifted, shoulders wide, ears over shoulders. Stand tall, reach arms high. Exhale, I'm only halfway out, so you're making a V with your arms. Tip your chin up, but engage your ribs. So you're not taking a back bend, you're staying tall, but just tipping the chin up. Whew, breathe. Slowly bring those hands to your heart as you tip your chin back parallel to the floor. We're going to set up for a tree pose here, and you're going to choose if you'd like to keep your foot on the mat or bring the foot up. This is just fine. It's a beautiful tree. So tip that right knee out to the side, bringing your toes to the mat. Heel can stay right here just on the ankle. Hands pressed together at heart center. You can lift that foot up just a bit onto the calf, or you can pick it up and move it above the knee, but keep your eyes steady. Keep your breath calm. You can keep your hands here at the center, or you can reach them high, maybe spreading the arms wide. You can wobble, that's okay. Trees need to move or they would fall down. Part of being powerful is being a little flexible. Find that little adjustments in your ankle and your toes, your foot. Continue to breathe. Calm breath, calm body. Even in power, you can find a calm, steady breath. Bring those hands back to your heart. Bring your foot down to the mat. Step about hip distance apart. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Option here to just stay in a forward fold. Option to cross your arms for a ragdoll, slowly swaying side to side. Or option to take something called Padahasthasana, hands to feet pose. For that one, you're going to bend your knees and tuck the palm under the sole of your foot. Standing on your hands, you're going to straighten the legs as much as it's comfortable and let your head hang heavy. Untuck those hands, toe heel your feet closer together once again. Roll on up to stand. Coming all the way up. Make sure you're not lightheaded. Reach your arms up. Bring them out to that V shape. Hold. Find that strength. Plug in with your toes. Engage your quadriceps. Hips over heels. Ribs plugged in. Chin lifted. Shoulders out of your ears. Take a deep breath. Hands to your heart. Finding tree on the other side. Press into the right foot. Left knee turns out to the side. Again, that tree can stay here, toes on the floor, staying plugged in. Need a little more stability? Perfect. That's a part of power, is knowing what support you need. If you'd like to move it up to your calf. If you'd like to pick it up and move it above your knee. Part of balance is keeping your eyes steady. Don't let your eyes wander. Allow your leg, knee, ankle, and feet to adjust. Staying here. We're starting to raise the arms up overhead. Arms can spread wide, fingers can spread wide. Maybe smile. Giving ourselves that biofeedback that we are strong, we are stable, we are powerful, and we are capable. Even if your tree is swaying, even if your tree is falling in and out, it's okay, it's just yoga. Allow yourself to move. What if you did? What if you fell out? It's just yoga. Breathe. You are still so powerful. You are courageous just for doing this today. Take a deep breath. Big exhale. Bring both feet back to the floor. Step those feet about hip distance apart once again. One more forward fold. Bringing the head down towards the earth. This time we're going to cross the arms. And once again, you can just do that nice sway, ragdoll, sway side to side. Or we're going to take this up and around in a circle at once in each direction. So with arms crossed, turn and let one elbow lead you up to stand. Inhale at the top. Exhale, slowly bringing it around the other side. Sway at the bottom there for a moment. And then switch to the other direction. Bringing that elbow up and around. Inhale at the top. Exhale it down. Hang out there once again, nice and loose. Giving those hamstrings a stretch. Let your head be heavy. Shake it yes and no. Plant your palms on the mat. We're going to walk back out into a downward facing dog. So I'm going to turn. If you're still facing the long side of your mat, you can just walk feet back, find your downward facing dog. Inhale here, and then exhale, drop the knees back into your tabletop. Engage your core. Find that long spine again, hips, shoulders, ears, crown of the head in one straight, strong line. You're going to take your right foot and extend it behind you. Try to keep your hip pointed straight down to the mat. You're going to extend your other arm. This time we're going to just do a couple little pulses. Again, finding a lot of strength, feeling super strong and powerful, like you're Wonder Woman or Superman. You're flying through the air. I guess Wonder Woman needs her jet, so we'll just pretend that she can fly. Supergirl, I think, can fly. All right, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Bend that knee. Just 3 little presses up with the heel. 3, 2, 1. Bring your knee down. No cat or cow yet. We've got to even it out on the other side. Extend opposite arm and leg. Hold. Again, trying to keep the hips parallel to the ground. Don't let this hip open to the side. You want to keep both hips pointing down. Strong torso. Ears in line with the shoulder. Extend. Bring your palm down. Bend that knee. Just 3 presses up. 3, 2, 1. Bring your knee down. Come on down into a child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes together, press back into your child's pose. Now option here to stay in your child's pose, arms stretched straight out, or if you want to take this side to side, it's a really nice side stretch. So you can walk both hands off to your mat, right hand on the bottom, left hand stretches on, places on top, and then reach your hip back. Walk across the other direction. The right hand's off the mat, left on top. Stretch your hip back. Come back to center. We're going to come into a puppy pose variation, rabbit pose, and we're going to bring the top of the head to the floor. It's a great way to calm down that nervous system and bring a little blood flow to the brain, a little oxygen, extra oxygen to the brain to help calm us down at the end of practice, maybe before bed. So you're going to come up onto your elbows to start. Bring the feet or shins back to parallel. Bring the top of the head to the mat. And just a little side to side, forward and back, a little pressure right on the top of the head. Now, if you want to turn that into rabbit pose, you're going to bring the hips back towards the heel as you press that head into the mat. So you might have to back your elbows up a little bit. Crown of the head brings to the floor. And then maybe bringing the hands back for the heels. Finding a little curled up ball. Come back onto your palms. Inhale to come up to your tabletop and find that cat and cow. Inhale to arch. Exhale to round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Have a seat on your heels once again in hero pose like we did in section 1. If you were been along for the ride, if you're just joining us for this ending, this might be your first hero, that's just fine. So that rabbit pose is like a really powerless pose, right? We're in this tiny little ball. Now we're going to take up some space and find some nice, deep, full, wonderful, heat-filled breaths. So place your hands gently on your belly. If this is uncomfortable, by the way, to be seated in hero, you can just have a seat and cross your legs. But hands in your belly, and you're going to exhale and press your diaphragm in. We're just going to build a little heat here. So exhale, press your belly in. Not with your hands, but with your diaphragm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, bend your elbows, tip your chin up, big strong arms. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, big strong breath. 1 more. Oh, so good. We're going to bring it over to one side. Stretch up and over your ear. Maybe looking down. Maybe looking up. Back to center, both hands touch. Other side. Bring it over and stretch. So we're feeling powerful in our breath. We're feeling powerful in these poses. Creating a little of that biofeedback in our own bodies. Bend your elbows. Lift your heart. Palms together. When we do that, we can help lower our cortisol. Again, that stress hormone can be really hard on our body if it's sustaining, like continuing to pump cortisol into our system is really stressful for our body. So we want to, when we can, come back to some powerful poses and powerful breath so that we're reversing that system, calming our body, letting those cortisol levels drop, and finding a little peace and power in ourselves. Untuck your feet, bring them around to the front. Bring the soles of your feet together, rock side to side and sit up tall. A little butterfly pose here, a little bounce at the knees. Taking slow, deep breaths. Remember, courage isn't not being afraid. Courage is about showing up even when you are terrified. We're showing up for ourselves. If you're home with little ones, you're showing up for your kiddos. If you're a big boss and head of CEO of a business, you're showing up for your people. We're all showing up in whatever way we can today. You're so amazing and brave. You are so courageous. From here, we're going to stick those feet straight out in front of you. Sit up tall, so place your palms right next to your hips for a minute. Squeeze those shoulder blades onto your back and bring your ears over your shoulders. So just finding this nice posture can just even engage the core and make us feel really tall and strong and powerful. 2 breaths just right here. Flex your feet. Maybe you can close your eyes. From here, we're going to take a forward fold. On your next inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Keep your feet flexed, like someone's pulling gently from the crown of your head. Get taller, and then roll round through the spine like a roll top desk. Each vertebrae lifting up and then over, bringing your head down. Maybe your hands touch your feet. Maybe they only touch your ankles. Maybe they touch your shins, but allow your head to come forward and breathe. Roll yourself back up. Take a deep breath. Open your feet to a V. It doesn't need to be very wide. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. Take your right foot and place it on the inside of that left leg. And then sit up tall once again. Reach your arms high. Flex the foot that's extended. Can you see my foot? I want to make sure you can see it. There we go. Now we're going to turn towards those toes, and you're going to reach up and tip over towards those toes. Let your head come down once again and breathe. You can walk your hands back up the leg, coming back up to your seat. If that one felt really good, you can do that same fold, or if you want to take this into a side stretch, you're going to drop your arm down onto your shin and then reach your other arm up and over your head, over your ear. Breathe. You're going to slowly come back up. Bring that hand down behind your hip. Bring that left arm around in a circle. Come up onto your knee. Lift your heart. Spread your shoulder back. Lift your chin and breathe. Arm comes back around and have a seat. That's one of my favorites. We're going to switch. So your other leg extends, bend that left foot in. The first one, we turn to face the extended leg, flex your toes. Inhale, reach up. Turn towards that foot. Melt over, hinge at the hips, stretch on down, breathe. Walk your hands back up. Your choice to do that same one again, or to take that side stretch, extending your arm onto that shin bone back, a hand comes up, stretches over your ear, settle into your stretch and breathe. Slowly come up, bringing that hand right back behind your hip. Swing the back arm around, come up onto your knee, lift your heart, breathe. Bring that arm back around, come on down to your seat. Stick your feet straight out in front of you, give them a little shake, shake, shake. Then bring it around so you can lie down on your back, so you can roll on down onto your mat. Feet over at the edges, rock your knees side to side. From here, we're going to take a little legs up the imaginary wall. So bring both feet straight up, flex your feet, and then point your toes. Palms can be at your sides. Maybe tuck your shoulders underneath you a little bit. Flex and point. Maybe take a couple circles. And then wiggle your toes. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bring those knees into your heart. Try to press your whole spine from your hips up to your shoulders into the mat. And then we're going to take a little twist here if you'd like. Keep your right knee in, lengthen your left onto the mat. You're going to gently bring that knee across your body in one direction as you turn and look in the other direction. So your knee is traveling one way and your arms extending in the other. And you're looking towards the arm. So it can be straight or your arm could be bent like a cactus, but you're just gently giving the whole spine a stretch. Back to center, give yourself a hug. And then other side. was just so concentrated on what I was getting us into Shavasana here that I forgot which knee I was bringing in. Oh. Bring both knees back in. Give yourself a little rock and roll on your mat. So a little rock and roll to massage the spine forward and back. And then finding some stillness. Maybe you want to find a little Supta Baddha Konasana for your Shavasana. Ooh, this is kind of fun to say. Soles of feet together, knees wide, hands to your heart or belly. Find that slow, calm, deep breath. If you prefer straight legs for Shavasana, stick those feet straight out. Tuck your shoulders underneath you. So we did a lot of powerful poses with our body, lots of power in our breath, and now we're going to let that all melt into the floor. Relax the space between your eyes. Relax your jaw. Let your shoulders melt into the floor. Let your belly be soft with each inhale and exhale. Let your feet fall open. Stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you can. Staying in your Shavasana right where you are. I'm going to roll myself up to my seat to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You are powerful. You are courageous. We do brave things every day, like coming up with activities for our children indoors, or video Skyping with friends, or giving ourselves a break. Be kind to yourself. You are amazing. We'll bow forward and end class here.